All right, guys, welcome back. Saynar Edwards with Swift Coding for Everyone. Thank you for joining me again. So in this video, like I said, we're going to talk about Boolean values, and we're also going to go over some more different types of control flow operators. Okay, so for Boolean values, so let's say if you had a constant that said let high score equals 1000. And then you say let is small number equals, and we'll say high score less than 10. And as you can see over here in the right panel, in our results panel, it's false. Okay, so what we did here is we just assigned is number with the control operators, our control flow operator less than. So as you can see, we just assigned is small number to a Boolean value because we said is equal to a high score less than 10. All right, and obviously the high score is not less than 10, it's 1000. So therefore is small number equals false. So just to show you one more step further, we'll say print is small number, and you'll see in the console that it will print false because this is not true. All right. Okay, so another example for this, we'll say let speed limit equals, let's say 70. And we'll say let current speed equals 72. And we'll say var is speeding equals current speed greater than speed limit. So it's true. So currently, so because we are going 72 in the speed limit where we are, it's 70, we're speeding. So therefore this Boolean value is speeding returned true. Okay, you see what we did there? So it was kind of like the same example up here, just a different case. All right, so if we put, if we changed current speed to 70, what would we get? False. We're not speeding, we're going the exact speed limit. If we put 69, are we speeding? No, it's false again. All right, so there you have it. All right, so the not operator, which is represented just by a single exclamation mark, could be hard to understand, but if you just think of it as saying something that's false, then it may be a little bit easier. And I'll show you here in just a second. All right, so we'll say so we know that it's not snowing. Just gave you a hint. So it's just printed here at the bottom. It said it is not snowing, and it's not. So we set here in our variable it's snowing. We set it equal to false, right? So if not is snowing, so if you send something is, so if it is snowing outside, obviously it's snowing, it's true. You know, there's white stuff all over the ground. So now we're going to talk about the and statement, the control flow operator, the logical operator, I should say, the and statement, which is represented by the ampersand. So when you hit shift, you hold down shift and you hit the 7 key twice, that represents and that is, if you look up, well, I have it up there, but that basically says that both sides of the equation basically have to be true. Okay, so we'll say let current temp equals 75. Okay, so we'll say if current temp, if it's greater than or equal to 75, and current temp is less than or equal to 80, we'll say print it is perfect outside. And then we'll say else, we'll just give it a single else for this case. We'll say else print meh. Alright. So as you can see down here in our console slash debug area, it says it is perfect outside. And you know, that's to each his own. Hey guys, I forgot to mention the else if statement. So let's go back to that. So else if. Now I know I mentioned that you can have as many else if statements as you want, right? So let's create a variable. Let's say let my grade equals 95. All right. So we'll say if my grade is greater than or equal to a 90, we'll say print you received an A. And we'll say else if my grade is less than or we'll say if it's greater than or equal to an 80 and less than or equal to 89, we'll say print you received the B, and then we'll just say else print you have some explaining to do. All right. So right now it's saying you received an A because my current grade is a 95, right? So you know, again, it runs from top to bottom. So if this block of code between this curly brace here and this curly brace, if it's true, it's going to run it. If not, it'll skip to the next block. Else if is my grade greater than or equal to 80, and so both have to be true, and it's between here. So and it's less than or equal to 89. If so, you receive the B. So let's do that. So let's go. Whoops, did the wrong thing. So let's go 88. Let's see. So because it falls in between the 80 and 89, we receive the B, right? Okay. Now let's say I changed it to 79. You have some explaining to do, as you can see at the bottom in the console. All right, so this last conditional statement we'll talk about is the OR statement. Now for the OR statement, the side on the left, the value on the left can be true, or the value on the right. And the way you use the OR symbol is right above the enter key on your keyboard. So if you hold down shift, it's basically the straight line looks like a lowercase, it looks like an I should say. So what you do is OR statement. So you hold down shift and you just hit the backslash key twice, and they call it pipes. Okay, so we'll say let is plugged in, we'll say false, and then we'll say let has battery power equals true. All right, so we'll say if is plugged in or has battery power, we'll say print you can continue to use the gram. And then you'll say else print give your phone a rest. All right. So one of them's false and one of them's true. So because we have at least one of them true, it doesn't matter which one. Like I said, at least one has to be true. So because one of them is true, you can see here at the bottom in our console, it says you can continue to use the gram. Now, if we change this to false, it's gonna go past that block of code, and it's gonna print the second, if I can spell, and it's gonna go to the second block. All right. You see at the bottom, it says it gives your phone the rest, and it also says it there in the results pane. All right. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Stay tuned for more. Next, we're going to talk about ternary operators.